So this week I did a rope scene with a gentleman called Vincent. Vincent's really interesting. He's been a fetish model for about 16 years. I really want to show you what the conversation, the pre-negotiation was like before we actually tied. As ever, I don't think enough of this stuff gets shown, so enjoy. What is it you like about being tied up?
Originally it was the imagery and seeing the harsh rope against the skin, just the contrast really kind of made me really interested in looking at it. And I think because it was a mix of bondage with essentially fine art nude, that there was a real artistic element to the BDSM and bondage element that really worked for me. And then I found that at the start, when you're standing, your hands behind your back, you're just kind of being pulled back. It's just like a Control-Alt-Delete on your brain. Everything just completely goes. Everything completely clears. And then I get deeper and deeper into space as I'm tied. And then afterwards, I just feel really, really good.
That kind of like that sort of spacing feeling. Have you had that from other types of bondage, or does the rope do something in particular?
The rope does in particular. The rope gets me there faster than anything else. CP, I really need to fight it. I need to really work with it. I really need to try and settle into it to eventually get the, with the rope, it brings me into the space very, very subtly, very smoothly, very deeply eventually, but it just kind of like turns the volume down just gradually like that, and it's just, you feel yourself sinking. It's almost like falling asleep.
Yeah.
Almost. Whereas with CP, you've kind of got to get through the first half dozen until you eventually get there, and it's like, oh, it's starting to come. Okay, oh, there we go, I'm not feeling it now. And you're still feeling the pain, but then you tend to get the space afterwards. Yeah. I can't get it from I've had it from having collars put on me. You kneel down, you put the collar on, it's just a constriction, and you just go. Sometimes you get it with cuffs, but there's nothing quite like a bit of rope. A bit of rough ink rope. I can't beat it.
You seem like you're like a bit of a contradiction in some respects. You're very masculine, like you're very strong. Yet from doing rope with you, you obviously are super comfortable with relaxing into things in the right circumstance.
Yeah.
I know that's very hard, or can be very hard, to get in that headspace. Other people I know who are like that, most of them are also quite wanting to hide that because they're aware of that contradiction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Whereas you're very kind of confident in your more sedate, more submissive is the right
submission,
word.
Yeah. I'm confident in my submission. I never used to be.
Yeah.
As we were talking about earlier on, I used to be very, very guarded about it, very much in the closet about it. And then I used to have real panics when I'd be halfway through crawling about the floor getting a kicking, or halfway being tied up, feeling really, really good, and then go, oh my God, what would the guys at the gym think if they saw me here? And it was like, I used to have that fight for quite a long time, and I really got over it because it's about me, it's not about anyone else. In life, you're very much the headlining star in your own movie.
Yeah. So
don't live your life for other people, and if something's good, enjoy it, embrace it, and accept it. But it did take a bit of time it did take a bit of work to get to that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very comfortable in my submission.
Yeah.
And it just is what it is. It's not because I lived a very dominant life or alpha male life, or whatever you want to call it. It's not about that. It's not about, there's this whole kind of cliche of, oh, you got this high-powered lawyer and he's got all this power, and then that's why they come and be submissive. For me, that's not the case at all. This is something that I'm into. It's something that I like, something that I enjoy, it's something that gives me an awful lot back. It's very positive. it's mutually exclusive to what I'm like when I'm not submissive.
Yeah.
And I think it's better if people look at it that way. They go, okay, what do I like? I like electro. I like needles. I like being dominant. I like being submissive. I actually happen to switch. You know what I mean? Whatever. I think you should just don't analyse it. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know? I think. Because I spent too long, and it was discussed as well earlier, that I came to terms with this quite late in life, at 30. Not really late in life, but you know what I mean? And then I just sort of lamented the amount of play that I missed out on when I was younger and better looking and more flexible and fitter and more abs.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, damn.
I guess the way I view it is that you can have elements of your personality which are completely contradictory, but they're all important.
Of course.
And it's really important to me that I don't disrespect other parts of people's personality. So, for example, if you come across quite submissive when I tie you, that I don't put that on you when we're not tying. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But that's because you're balanced and you're experienced.
Yeah.
I think that kind of thing, like we discussed earlier, shows a lack of experience, that somebody thinks that because they've seen someone on the internet and they're a sub or they're a dom, that when they're out of role, out of context, they're going to go, oh, they're going to talk to someone a certain way. Yeah. That's completely incorrect, you know.
In terms of play, have you got any injuries or anything like that?
No.
Anything like that?
No.
How did you get on? Because we tied before, I did like a suspension thing on you. How did you get on with that? Like in the following days, was that okay? Like you feel?
All it was I was just buzzing for about 2 or 3 days afterwards from it and kept reminiscing on it.
Yeah.
That's all I had, and that's all I do have from a really good play session. You just kind of sit and reminisce. It goes, oh my god, that little bit, or oh my god, that bit, or you know. And then we got the photographs back from Paul, and it was just like, oh my god, you know. So yeah, it was. I felt really, really good. Mild frustration I wasn't hit afterwards once I was tied up. That's all. Yeah.
So does that? Do you have like a hankering to combine bondage with impact play?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
That's interesting. Cause
yeah.
You don't come across that very often. Yeah.
No.
Like I'm not. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, it just occurs to me that once you're in the position, then you'd be thoroughly dealt with and used in whatever way. Because you're so spaced and so gone that it would be good to do, because I think you're so spaced you'd be able to take more. But then again, maybe it might spoil it. Maybe the rope in itself is just enough. But to me, it wouldn't have been a bad thing to have a little bit of something afterwards. Not a lot, but a bit to.
Yeah, I'm curious because obviously you do like your impact, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious to see whether it like combines into like one big great experience, but because they're very different sensations. Like the sensation of pressure from suspension and impact plays. So yeah, I'm happy to give it a crack if you want to. I did have some things in mind today if you're interested.
Okay.
I would really like hog ties.
Okay.
Restricted hog ties. Because we've got the frame upstairs, so we can have both you and a hog tie, and then have you spread out as well as in a bit of a back bend.
Okay.
How do you feel about
The top.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We'd be playing with the TK position with your arms again. So I need you to do checks regularly. Me.
Yeah, it was really good. That the checks was really good, and at no point did I feel any tingling or anything like that at all. It was really, really I was in constant equilibrium, which I think that really was what showed your experience as a rope tire to me. Because I said the only other person that did it like that was Shanta Rose, and that level, standing, then on one leg, and then completely suspended. The balance was complete equilibrium the whole time. Because any other time you've always it feels like a bucket of ice cold water going over you that you're spacing, and then the limb goes, it's a leg goes, or your foot goes, or your hand, or your arm, or your shoulder, or something somewhere's just not been done quite right. But I never had that with you in any of the times that you've tied me, and I didn't have it with her. There was no discomfort or anything like that at all. But I think that's very much part of the art, keeping the sub in equilibrium.
Yeah.
Very much so.
You, I would guess, feel pain more than most people because you've got a lot of muscle. You're pretty big. You're bigger than me.
Yeah.
So all that weight going through rope, I think I would guess feel that more.
Yeah, I surprisingly, my pain. I struggle with my pain threshold. I do feel it a lot. Doesn't mean I don't like it, but I do feel it. Yeah. I really do. So it's nice that somebody actually acknowledges that and is aware of that. So again, it shows your experience.
So what I think we'll do is we're going to take those same core components.
Okay.
And we're going to twist you up a little bit.
Okay.
So like you're feeling like you're being pulled in multiple directions.
Okay.
And we're just going to see how you feel about it.
Okay.
And as before, we'll go into it quite slowly.
Yeah, sure.
And as before, if you experience any problems whatsoever, it's no problem at all. Like, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
We just reset, change the thing, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about
that? Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. And if we get to like a good place, maybe we can include a little bit of maybe some very, very light cane strokes.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe a little bit of flogging's really fucking hard with rope.
Yeah. I would have thought riding crop or cane would be the two things that would work. Maybe some nipple clamps and things like that, CBT and stuff like that. That would all work in rope work. But yeah, I think the implements would. Maybe you could use single tail. Depends if you're holding it and flicking it. It depends what body parts are roped up. But yeah, I think cane and crop are probably the two other things for the rope work. Yeah.
And if I was using crop, what we're talking about is like more kind of the tweening sort of style.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Just because I don't want to like get you into a nice place and then be like, boom, there you go, man.
Yeah. I can't really start to laugh a lot when that happens. I've done a few films and I've burst out laughing, and people think I'm taking the mick, but I'm not. It's just uncontrollable. It's just a reaction. And then if you keep going, and this isn't a cue for you to do this, but if you keep going, the laughing goes and goes and goes, and then they keep hitting you, then you burst out crying.
Yeah.
It's just emotional response, and it all just floods out you. You know what I mean? Which again, I'm kind of comfortable with. And I've said to people, they kind of go, oh, and it's like, no, this happens. Don't worry about it. It happens. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, this can be an emotional business.
It can. Yeah. Well, it's an intense old thing.
Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed that video. So we really want to keep free, high quality rope education going. The plan to keep that going was that we were going to use things like YouTube ad revenue. Unfortunately, YouTube, not the greatest fans of content like this. Vast majority of what we do gets demonetized. So in order to kind of make this a bit more of a sustainable project, we set up a Patreon. If you really like stuff like this and you want to keep supporting it and you want to see more, as a reward to patrons, we put more content over there, extra classes, extra videos, extra articles. And one of those extra videos will include the full scene that I did with Vincent. Go check it out, I think you might like it. If not, just keep liking our videos, keep watching them, and we thank you very much. Bye bye.